What's up, my friends? How you doing? How you doing? We're here for some magical spoiler goodness. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. And I mean, obviously our other normal nonsense too, but that's the main idea for this evening, because even though I did a video talking about spoilers, it definitely did not cover everything. So there's some other stuff that I want to talk about. I just got it all tossed into a folder, so we're gonna take our time and enjoy some magical cards. Let's just share the link in the Discord first, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's see here. Got to switch the chat up so I can see that properly. There we go. That's good. What up, Millmaster, Jess, Kenzuki, Sandwich, Felonious Tea, Ashmead, Juglum, Rays, Eng, Zircon, Shelton, Dreams. Is that everybody who's here at the beginning? It looks like that's the case. Ashmead, you're eating breakfast right now? It's crazy, the different time zones, right? You're in a completely different part of the world on a different day. It's like the weekend for you. It's a long weekend in Canada, by the way. This is the Canada Day weekend. Canada Day. Anyways, it's the Canada Day long weekend. In America, they got their Independence Day on the 4th, but we got Canada Day on the 1st. We slide in and do it first. So it is a long weekend, which means it's time to extra enjoy myself, right? At least that's the spirit I tried to inhabit. I went down to the game store today, but I made a mistake. I had too much edibles before I went. So normally I go down there and socialize more. But instead of socializing with people, I just kind of read a bunch of board games and then left. I stood there looking at all these different board games. I did talk with the game store owner and a couple other people a little bit, but mostly I was just staring at board games. I'm interested in cooperative games that I can play with Carly. I was there long enough to get the early access box of Assassin's Creed. This is the size of a play booster box of Assassin's Creed. It's pretty small. So we've got this to open up. I think we're going to do it tomorrow, really. I think that's how it's going to go. We will take a look at some of these. Maybe we'll play Plinko. Maybe we'll do the wheel. But either way, got that early access so we can open this on the store's behalf. And actually, this booster box determines the fate of the game store, specifically in regards to Assassin's Creed. Like, he said, I'm going to only see what you get out of this box before I decide if I'm going to open any at all. Like, for real. He's like, let's just see what we get, because I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of duplication of cards, and I don't feel like getting hosed. And I'm like, yeah, unless it's the Knight Templars or whatever, you really don't want to end up with too many copies of a bunch of the random ass cards from it, right? So it's been a mixed bag kind of day. I got random dental pain at the beginning of the long weekend, and I'm like, oh, that's perfect timing. I think I might just have some sinus stuff going on, so it might turn out that it's not the tooth, but I got a sneaking suspicion that one of my teeth that has the filling, like too much of a filling, might have gone over to the dark side and is now willing to inflict pain on me. So it's been a mixed bag. Go to the game store, get Assassin's Creed, but also get 2 baked so you don't end up chatting with people. Kind of undermines the whole socializing part of it. Also, my yo-yo, it broke. My yo-yo decided it was tired of life today. And that's unfortunate. I think I can fix it. And it should be fine. But still, it's a day of like minor level bad luck, I would say, because it's not like my tooth's been hurting all along. It's not like the yo-yo's not fixable, right? Not socializing with people at the game store is not a big deal. but there's been a ton of tiny little bad luck incidences. It says it's going to rain on the weather network. I'm like, is it going to rain? I go out and check. I want to go out and get some Kool-Aid. So I go out and check, and it's like, oh, okay. No, it's not raining. And then right before I leave, I'm like, you should double check. You don't have a hat or anything. So double check if it's raining. So I go out and I check, like put my hand out and everything. And it's like, okay, it's not raining. And then I actually leave the building, go outside, and of course it's raining. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Why? Why? Millmaster, what? Are you talking about the happy face light? It's up on this wall. It's reflecting off the board. Yeah, Magoro Carpenter's glue? I was thinking wood glue. What up, Sum? How you doing, buddy? Well, on the fun side of the scale, got something in the mail today from Sum that we can crack open as well. We'll take a look at that after we're done the spoilers, all right? So, now it's a yo-no. It's a no-yo. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, let me switch over to the spoiler view. There we go. There we go. So I got spoilers from yesterday. Not yesterday. Good Lord. It's the same day. It feels like the earlier part of the day apparently was a different day, right? So I've got some of the stuff from earlier in there, like the 9 Lives familiar. I really enjoy this because it feels like it's what it's supposed to be. You've got a familiar, it's a cat, it literally has 9 separate lives. That's pretty wild. The fact that it's playing with its own skull and rib cage, all of it. All of it. I like the vibe. This feels like what should be in a set for people who are just starting out in Magic, right? Because it gets you in the mind of a bunch of different concepts like counters. It's got the idea of constantly bringing a creature back so you can get a bunch of advantage out of it, either by using it as a blocker a bunch of times or a sacrificial object, right? What up, Grizzle? Happy Friday to you, big boy. Millmaster, that's a tragic tale. That is a tragic tale, losing everything in your life and not even your yo-yo will return to you. So yeah, I really like the 9 Lives familiar, and I overall like the idea of this, I keep forgetting the name of it. What's it called again? Foundation set. And that's good, because Magic does need a foundation to play off of, right? To build off of, because it feels like for the last number of years they had been eroding that foundation. We got, I guess, a bunch of this is going to be in, I thought this was going to be in a slightly different order than the video, but it doesn't look like it so far. Anthem of Champions. Man, we've come a long way. When I started, Crusade and Bad Moon both cost 2, although Bad Moon only cost a black and 1. So if you put out a first turn Sol Ring, you could put out 2 second turn Bad Moons. Couldn't do that with Crusade, because Crusade required 2 white. But those were blanket style enchantments that affected everybody's creatures. Then they came along with ones that only gave your guy the bonus. They gave green things like Gaia's Anthem, which was just straight up, like originally it was all your white creatures get a bonus. And things like, Angelic Voices, where as long as you only have white creatures and artifact creatures, it gets a bonus. Like it cared about you having white creatures. So did Jihad. You needed to have more like, was that the one where your opponent just had to have a card of a particular color? Yeah, I think that's how it works, actually. Never mind. Either way, you had all these restrictions on your bonus cards. And then they made Glorious Anthem, which was just 3 mana to give all your guys +1/+1. Then they made Gaia's Anthem, which was 2 green and 1 to give all your creatures +1/+1 unconditionally. And now we've reached the point where a green and a white gives all your creatures +1/+1. And how strong is it for real, you know? How strong is it for real? It's not busted. Everything's crazy now. Magic's power level has amped up to the point where I would have thought this was crazy before. Now I'm just like, yeah, I mean, would I put it in my cube? I don't even know. At one point I had Gaia's Anthem in my cube, but the card power level is cranked. So, I do like that the flavor text talks about different warrior factions named for animals, and that's shown in the actual artwork. I like connections in that way. Yeah, dreams, exactly. Excited for Foundation, not just for the overall health of the game, but also for simple, flavorful designs for your cube. 100%. Like, I'm not, it's so interested in this for my cube, but this, yep, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, here we go. Now we're moving into some stuff that we didn't see in the video. So we've got carrot cake, and this is unsettling because the bunnies in the background look like they're doing what the Instagram chicks do when they open their mouth when they want it, you know? Like So, carrot cake is a white and 1 for an artifact food, and when it enters and when you sacrifice it, you create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token and scry 1. And you pay 2 mana and sack it to gain 3 life. So, you pay 4 mana in total, gain 3 life, scry twice, and create 2 1/1s. That is a lot tucked into one card. The carrot cake itself looks disgusting. It looks absolutely gross to me. Like, look at it. Look at it. You think carrot cake sounds like an uncard? It does sound like an uncard, but this actually this doesn't look like an uncard. It just looks like a bunny rabbit, we want to eat a bunch of carrots card. Flavor text is from Mrs. Bumbleflower. I'm Mrs. Bumbleflower. Secret ingredient? What do you think? I think it's probably jizz, bro. That's probably what that congealed whiteness is. Oh no, okay. I've sullied this card. Let's move on. Pearl of Wisdom. Look at this happy honor. 1 blue and 2. It's a sorcery. This spell costs 1 less to cast. If you control an otter, draw 2 cards. So if you have an otter, then it's a 1/2. Oh, he's literally pried it out of a giant clam. You can see him there laying his arm on it. Better hope that doesn't get stuck in there, son. And all the lily pads that are above him, that's fun. Otter divers compete to bring up the biggest, purest pearls they can find. I got some big, pure pearls for you. Storing elemental magic in them is a bonus. All right, that's pretty cool, man. The additional level of they're not just there looking for wealth. It's straight up, we can imbue magic into these. That's not too shabby. That's not too shabby. So yeah, I mean, I guess if you're playing otters, then you get extra cheap card draw. It's fine. It's a fine variation of the like millions of blue cards that are 3 to draw too, because we see a lot of variations of this, right? It's funny seeing the otters wearing like a jacket. I don't need no pants. Look at my otter butt. Sun Shower Druid. Look at this little frog, man. Look at him bringing the rain, son. 1 green for a 0/2. When he enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and you gain 1 life. So if he comes out by himself, he's a 1/3 and you gain a life for 1 green. Apprentice augurs begin their studies by predicting where the rain will fall. Even those who don't succeed derive great joy from the process. All right, man. This just seems like fun. A little frog druid who's bringing the rain, bro. That's awesome. That's awesome. I really like the vibe of this card in particular, man. That's dope. You can see raindrops splashing around. Does he infuse the rain with like life magic? That's dope. That's dope. Then we've got Jace, the Mind Sculptor, as a fox. Here's the actual card. Before we got to see this however long ago in the form of like a pin, right? So this is the what if variations where Wizards is basically showing us what all these animals would look like if they showed up on Bloomburrow. His legs look really weird behind the text box. Let's be very real. It says imagine critters. I guess this is supposed to be what the name of these showcase cards are, where you imagine different individuals in Magic as critters. Pretty straightforward. We got the chainsaw. I saw this earlier. It's solid, bro. 1 red and 1, 3 damage to any creature. And then it boosts up with rev counters and gives plus power based on the number of rev counters. It feels right. It feels right for the kind of horror they're doing, even if it does feel weird for Magic, you know? Oh, Moxman coming in with the boomstick, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness reference when we've literally got a chainsaw on the screen. You got good timing, buddy. You got good timing. What up, Beasley? How you doing? Twitch and doll. This one's so creepy, man. From a distance, it just looks like a little cat doll. But it's actually just full of fucking spiders, bro. Here come all the spiders, yo. It's like popping up from under, like the bottom of your bed or something. Get spidered. It just flings its hands and spiders just go flying into your mouth. I do like the fact that this solves the whole mana jank bag guys later in the game, where you pay to get a little 2/2 dude who taps to give you a mana, but later on, what good is he, right? Doesn't really mean anything. Body's not big enough to do anything. You don't need the mana. But this thing is a 2/2, adds a mana of any color. You put a nest counter on it, and you can put other counters on it. Like, if for some reason you use that swan or goose or whatever it is that lets you move a guy out of play and bring him back into play and put a flying counter on him, the flying counter counts towards the number of spiders this guy makes. So it's not too shabby. Yeah, exactly, Dreams. I'm saying the same thing. They count any kind of counter, which is awesome. That's dope. This is a cool card. Magic's definitely power creeping hard, though. Let's be real. Doomsday Excruciator. Wearing my sunglasses at night. That's the 6/6 demon for 6. That is dicey when you cast it, because everybody's decks get ravaged down to having 6 cards, and you draw an extra card each turn. This thing begs to be reanimated, right? Like, it's a million times reanimate me. Don't worry about messing up the deck, right? This thing, I mean, I would slap this in my cube, right? I guess it would function kind of odd in the cube, but still. A 6/6 that lets you draw an extra card during your upkeep is pretty wild. That's pretty sweet. Fear of missing out. Look at that, man. Is he spitting out souls? Is he swallowing down souls? I don't know. 2 mana for a 2/3 that gives you extra attack phases is nutty. The fact that it can also just give you card draw if your hand's empty. Like, this has red beat you down, red rush written all over it. It's crazy. And the fact that even the discarding and drawing, if you happen to have cards in your hand, just helps you accelerate to having the delirium of 4 different types of cards in your graveyard to trigger that extra attack phase, right? That's wild. That's wild. Also, delirium feels like a great fit for Duskmourn. 100%. 100%. Oh, the FOMO. Yep. This is Wizards' marketing strategy. If you just picture the souls as your money and them swallowing it, like slurping it up like spaghetti. All right.
Always doing it sunny side up.
Oops. Instead of hitting the next button, I hit the down button. I guess I hit them both because it switched over to the next card. All right. Come back wrong. Well, you usually want to come back, but you don't want to come back wrong. 1 black and 2 for a sorcery that says destroy target creature. If a creature card's put into a graveyard this way, return it to the battlefield under your control. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. It's interesting that this is a sorcery. So you can't, like, do this at instant style. Like, I'll smoke your guy on your turn and get to attack with it on my turn. So you're going to need a way to give haste or something along those lines. Or, I mean, just destroy one of their creatures, not care that you don't get any value out of getting a copy of it for a turn, or take advantage of any of the million come into play abilities that creatures have nowadays. Sterling, you're struggling to figure out where this card will fit. Well, for me, I'd say that I'd easily toss it in the cube. It seems pretty sweet, man. It seems pretty sweet. I don't think it's powerful enough for something like Modern, but it's a very cool effect that definitely feels like horror movie level stuff, right? When somebody gets taken out and then they come back and it's like, I thought we were friends. It's like, we're not friends anymore, bro. You got a demon in you. Sorry, but I got to knock your head off with a shovel, son. I got to shovel your head off, bro. That's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. The flavor text says, see, that's why you always burn the bodies. And that's from Rip the Spawn Hunter. Oh, like from the comics? He's hunting the actual spawns? Yo, that's pretty good advice, though. This is why you burn the bodies. Because they keep coming back, Dorothy. That's why. That's why. Dreams, no, it is in no way a threaten. You can't attack with the creature. You got it completely reversed. Threaten is 1 red and 2 to gain control of a creature, and it gains haste. You don't get any of that. You destroy a creature, and then you put the creature back into play on your side, but at the end of the turn it goes. It doesn't get haste, right? So it's just gonna sit there going, remember me? You used to hug me. Stop hitting me with shovels, right? Moxman, yep, you could use it to kill Eldrazi and bring him back for the end of the battlefield effect. There's a huge long list of creatures you could bring back with it. All right, we got Nowhere to Run. Oh, this is that bonkers uncommon, right? 1 black and 1 for an enchantment with flash, so it's going to operate in a lot of ways like an instant. When Nowhere to Run enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Creatures your opponents control can be the targets of spells and abilities as though they didn't have hexproof. Ward abilities of those creatures don't trigger. It shuts off ward and hexproof for all your opponent's creatures for 2, and it also comes out at instant speed to give a guy -3/-3. This is some wild removal, and this is what happens when Wizards goes willy-nilly slapping all kinds of crazy ward on all kinds of crazy creatures, right? Yeah, this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. The artwork says nowhere to run, but it looks like he does have somewhere to run. Also, what's on his waist? Is that a Ghostbuster cell phone? Also, is one of those spirits flying directly towards his dick, bro? Like the one at the bottom? The one down here? Is it, do these fly up your dick hole? Is that what's going on? This is insanely strong, man. This is insanely strong. Like, I can't believe this is just an uncommon, honestly. It feels really powerful to me. But I guess maybe it's just sideboard fuel? Is 2 mana to get rid of any creature that's 3 toughness or less good enough? Even? Do you know what I mean? I really don't know. Screaming Nemesis. I laughed when I read this. I went, what? Like, for real, out loud, sitting on my computer. Because it's like, just shuts off life gain, does it? 3 mana, 3/3 with haste that whenever it takes damage, it deals that much damage to another target, like Boros Reckoner does. But, oh, by the way, if you do damage to player at all, if you damage a player this way at all, guess what? They can't gain life for the rest of the game. It's so nutty. It's so nutty. Like, this is just wild, man. This is just wild. Might not even be that powerful by today's standards. I don't know, but it is mythic, right? It is mythic, and it seems insane to me. Toby Beastie Befriender. This totally has, like, Unset vibes, doesn't it? I know it also has, like, Monster Inc. vibes and stuff like that, but did this originally start out as... like, an uncard? And then they just repurposed it for this? Because it just gives me... Like, this kid in the artwork looks like he could clearly be in Unfinity, right? Compared to Dress Down. Yeah, doesn't Dress Down just last for 1 turn? All right. What's Toby do? 1 white and 2 for a 1/1. When he enters, create a 4/4 white beast creature token with this creature can't attack or block alone. As long as you control 4 or more creature tokens you control are flying. If you blink this guy out, he just keeps making 4/4s. It's not like an actual legendary token or anything. That's pretty nutty. That's pretty nutty. A 1/1 that makes a 4/4 for 3. And things have progressed so much that I'm like, I don't even know where this falls on the power scale 100%. Like, this isn't blow your socks off. The idea behind the beasties in the world of Duskmourn is that they're creatures that are trapped in Duskmourn and they live for friendship and affection. So that's what they crave in the world of horror. They're like, I just want to be loved, bro. And that's how I feel about the real world, guys. It's so horror-filled. I just want to be loved. Somebody befriend me. Somebody rub me under my chin while weird little... Oh, those must be glimmers. Those must be glimmers. Glimmers are like the hopes of people crystallized into spirits, right? Feels like another Pier Toothy type setup. Yep. It does have that kind of energy, 100%. Some, it reminds you a bit of an imaginary pet for flavor. Yeah, I mean, they're not imaginary, though. They're definitely not imaginary. Dreams, you hope the beasties won't be too prevalent because everything else is so cool. I'm guessing there's only going to be a handful of them. I don't think there's going to be enough to support any kind of like beastie tribal. I think there's just particular franchises they want to hit with it. This set's going to be a mixed bag of some coolness and some wonkiness. This is from the Foundation set. So this is, why is the name eluding me right now? It's the 2 white and 2 destroy all creatures. So it's the Wrath of God replacement. Day's Judgment? Why can't I think of the name of this right now? What is the name? What is the name of this card, guys? Why can't I think of it? Day of Judgment? Judgment Day? Day of Judgment, Felonious T. All right. I remember what it does. The artwork's insane, right? I remember how crazy Wrath of God was when Magic first started. It was like, bro, it's so wild that for 2 white and 2, you can just wipe all the creatures out. I played that so much. So this is a reprint that they're putting in the Foundation set. This is another reprint that they're putting in. And this one is Llanowar Elves with the flavor text saying, the Elves of Llanowar Forest have defended it for generations. It's their sacred duty to keep outside influences from corrupting their ancestral home. It's pretty hard to beat the initial flavor text where they talk about the punishment for trespassing in their woods is 1 broken bone for every twig that's broken underfoot. That's intense. Malik, yep, you got it right as well. Juggling, you think with the new take on Arch Enemy, everyone's going to build the biggest, beefiest decks for it? Well, if you got to take down a giant evil, you're going to need power. Oh, here's another variation of the 9 Lives Familiar. I like the fact that if you take a look at the tombstone that it's sitting on, it's its own gravestone, essentially, because you can see the little cat face on it. And above that, you can see that it's got the little tally marks for 8 lives. So it's on its 9th life. It says, Curiosity stopped keeping score. Well, the cat's definitely keeping score. It's only got 1 go left in it. It's cool. I like it. Leyline of Hope. 2 white and 2 enchantment. If it's in your opening hand, you can begin with it on the battlefield. If you gain life, you gain that much life plus 1. As long as you have at least 7 life more than your starting total, creatures you control get +2/+2. Is this a leyline that already exists? I don't think this is a reprint, is it? Is it? I don't know. The idea that, like... Actually, that's pretty cool now that I think about it. The Haunted Horror House of Duskmourn has extended out and encompassed the entire plane. So, of course, that would encompass any mana ley lines that existed there as well. So that is pretty funky, actually. Malik, you're teaching your younger sister and nephew to play, so you're hyped for Foundations? Good. I'm glad that they're getting back to the... roots of what Magic needs. An entrance level, come on in, have a good time product instead of literally everything being play commander. And it's like, ease it down, chief. Let them play standard, right? Having a set pool of cards where you can get years and years out of it without it rotating out on you also feels like a smart move. So we'll see how it pans out. But ultimately, I think Foundations is pretty sweet as an idea. Here's another variation of the chainsaw. This is shown on, I don't know if this is supposed to be a TV or like a TV screen. It's got a lot of dials and stuff on the side. Is this supposed to be like an old communicator style walkie-talkie kind of thing? I don't know. It's definitely a very interesting style. Cursed Recording. This one's wild, dude. Tap it to just copy your next instant or sorcery. But after 7 times of casting instants or sorceries, you basically take 20. That's nutty. It's like a ticking time bomb, but you're in control of how fast it ticks. And it does give you some real power in exchange. Like 100%, man. You know what, as well? I really like the artwork. I don't know how much I would use it for the gameplay, but I really like the artwork. It's funky. Connolly, you think it's a Stranger Things era TV? I do think that they're trying to evoke Stranger Things as well. I agree with you. All right, so we got the Wandering Rescuer. So clearly the Emperor, the Empress of Kamigawa has lost her Planeswalker Spark. That's what this symbol is. The broken Planeswalker symbol lets you know that they've been de-sparked. But it doesn't change the fact that she's a powerhouse. 5 mana, 3/4 with flash, double strike, gives all your tapped creatures hexproof, and you can convoke it out. So you can literally, in response, not just protect the creatures that have attacked, but you can tap a creature, like they're going to cast a spell, it's about to destroy your dude. You can tap that creature as part of this cost, so it is a tapped creature and gets hexproof, right? So unless they have that black enchantment to shut it off, you get to stop their stuff. And she's clearly going hardcore. Double strike, 2 blades. It's all right. I do wonder if this is repurposed art that originally depicted a Phyrexian getting slashed in half, and they just turned it into Duskmourn art. They've got like a crew that's going to be exploring Duskmourn, and as far as I understand, the Wanderer is one of them. We'll see them all in a different piece of art that should be in here. Oh, here it is. Here it is. So this is your... you could look at it if you want as your Scooby-Doo gang, or you can look at it as like the people who end up in a haunted horror place, like the smart chick, like the cheerleader, like the brawny boy, or whatever, like the jock, right? They could be going for that, you know? There's multiple possibilities. So in this artwork, we've got Tyvar, Kaido, Zamone, that looks like the Wanderer in the background, and Nico Eris, who looks very different. Nico Eris just straight up looks like a lady now. That's different. That's different. That's got to be Nico because of the shard that's floating above it, right? Like above her hand there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this artwork. I feel like this might have been another one that's for the Phyrexian War, where they just had these guys coming together, and then they painted flashlights into their hands. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird seeing Magic characters, specifically like Planeswalkers or previously were Planeswalkers, walking around with flashlights. This one feels odd to me, right? Oh my god, Juglum, you're right. Tyvar's got a fanny pack. He's got a fanny pack. Oh my god, that's funny. What up, GL? How you doing, buddy? Fanny pack. All right, so this is Collected Company. This is a reprint. So this is them just randomly being here. I don't know how the story's gonna go. I like the world building of Duskmourn, so we'll see how it plays out. Horrors are by their nature somewhat stupid with the decisions that are made and things that happen, so they actually get a little bit more leeway. Millmaster, you keep your D-Spark in the fanny pack. He's got a fanny pack on. Oh my god. All right. Salvation Swan. I called this a goose earlier when it's got Swan in the name. All right. So this is the new version of Restoration Angel that can't save flyers, but turns dudes it does save into flyers. And anytime a bird comes out, triggers as well. So Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I really like the carrot sword in the front. That's a lot of fun. Early winter, man! Guys, does this not evoke the feelings of being out in the blinding, driving snow? I was thinking about how much your life experiences really inform how much you can enjoy a story. And I wonder what it's like for people who live in tropical regions or areas that have no snow, who don't know, like you can try and picture it, but you don't know what it feels like to actually like be in it, right? I do. I very much do know what that's like. So I can almost feel it. You know what it smells like. You know what it feels like when the wind's whipping at you and there's all this snow and it's up to your knees. I've run through knee-high snow to deliver flowers to Carly. Like, I've been out in crazy, crazy levels of snow. And so just think about how all your life experiences all come together to help you experience other things more viscerally, you know? It's like feeling the difference. You need to run as hard as you can to know what the difference between your throat being raw from running until it's ragged versus smoke inhalation that makes your throat raw, or being sick that makes your throat raw, because they're all different experiences, right? It's just so many fabulous little moments, or the opposite of fabulous moments, awful moments that come together to give you a tactile experience that lends itself well to when you're viewing magic artwork. Like, I can feel this artwork, which I love. And the fact that it's a tiny little mouse that's pushing his way against it, just a frail little mouse. Oh, I love it. I love it. Every day says, get your crayons out and mark that board. Crayons? Nah, bro. I'm going to mark that board with a marker. Every day. You are Lord of the Board. Thanks for the super chat, big boy. I love monies. And you know what? $2 is the perfect amount for the Wheel of Fortune tickets. They're discontinuing Wheel of Fortune tickets starting at the end of the month. So I decided for the next couple of days, I want to get one like tomorrow and the day after, because after that they're gone. After that they're gone. So I got some quarters on my desk for that purpose. Break stop. Well, speaking of cold and experience, I felt the warmth of sympathetic joy watching a video on the new magic stuff today. I'm glad. You know what? I had an awesome time making today's video and an awesome time making the lore video, reading through the Duskmourn world and going, yo, this is worth talking about. They're putting in actual effort, and I'm literally feeling excited. So I had an awesome time doing that, and while the video isn't like doing really banger in the view category, it's doing better than the last video I put out, which is always nice. It's doing really banger in the people appreciating it level. It's been a long time since I had a video where it had 99% thumbs up. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the time it'll settle down somewhere around 95%, which is still very high because people tend to like what I do, and there's not that many people who dislike it who bother to engage with it, right? So overall, I get very high ratings in that regard, but 99% is not frequent, and there's a bunch of people in the comments who are clearly having a good time. It's nice to be enjoying myself and be hopeful about the future of Magic and see Wizards making moves that I don't feel are detrimental to the game. So I'm glad that you got enjoyment out of it. I got enjoyment out of it, and a bunch of people did. And honestly, I realized looking at it that it makes me happier than if I had made a video. If something was going wrong and I made a video about it and it did better than that video, I wouldn't like it more just because it got more views. I like how much people are enjoying this video, and it feels like I've just been dealing with a lot of negativity in the Magic sphere, specifically with Wizards is doing, but also with my mindset, that it's just such a nice departure, you know? RL, oh, I'm sure you can imagine it, but you can't feel it the same way. You can't. You can have an idea, but you don't know, man. You do not know. You don't know all the tiny little obnoxious details. Like when the snow is just high enough that it'll trickle into your boots and you're just like, oh no. And it slides its way down and melts so that parts of your socks on either side start to get slightly wet. Like, you can imagine it on a certain level by, I don't know, sticking your head in the freezer and being like, I'm a mouse on Bloomburrow, Papa. But you can't experience it the same way as if you physically felt it, because there's a lot of details that your mind won't create because it doesn't know they exist. You know what I mean? That's not a knock on people's imagination. I apply this to myself as well. 100%. 100%. If I did not live somewhere where I had endured crazy snowfall, then I'd intellectually be able to grasp it, but I wouldn't viscerally be able to feel it. And that's the difference. That's the difference. 10-4, yep. The foundation set symbol does like have a reminiscence of the old starter from 1999. 100%. 100%. Ashmead, you already added the red curse card to your Sliver Cascade deck. All right. Chim, you think it coincides with Cynthia Williams leaving? I don't know exactly what it was. But either way, I'm just happy. I'm happy to... I don't like watching things that I love erode and feeling like they're going irrevocably in the wrong direction. So it's nice to see that it's not. And because it feels less like, things are falling apart, it gave me more space to enjoy myself with what's going on, right? RL, you were going to mention the freezer? Well, I mean, it feels like an obvious choice of like, no, I can understand. I know what cold is. I felt cold before. It's different. Dreams, you wonder if removal's intentionally slow for Bloomburrow because this effect would normally be 2 and 2 black. Slow removal would fit the vibes. Possibly. There's also the fact that you're thinking of 2 black and 2 as creature removal with some other shenanigan, but this is exile and also exiles enchantments, right? So it is on the costly side. You're not wrong about that. Then we got Might of the Meek. Oh, man. I love this mouse bravely charging at this giant serpent. Like, yo, you gonna get some? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. I'm gonna wear your skin when I go to the mall, right? That's what this guy's saying. Not too bad. 1 red instant that gives a creature trample until end of turn, and +1/+0 if you control a mouse. Doesn't even have to be a mouse. You just have to have a mouse to show that bravery. Let's do it! I like this. Oh, we made the loop. Okay. All right. That covers the spoiler individual action. So let's go ahead and put it on a nice little rotation so it'll still flip through the cards, which is always nice. And then I gotta try these right here, man. Bo Falcon did a really good job when he sent out them Tim Tams. I love getting to try different treats. Tim Tams are legit. I have a question though, for anybody else who's eaten Tim Tams and knows what these are. When it comes to eating them, are you a weirdo like me in that you find that the outer chocolate on the cookie melts too quickly, and so you want to hold it? Like, I want to hold this in a napkin, honestly. Oh, it's got caramel in the middle. Okay. I don't know if Kylie will like this one, but this is good. Sweet. We may as well try the other ones too, because she might like those. The classic dark. She doesn't really like caramel, but she loved the dark mint Tim Tams. She said they tasted like Girl Guide cookies. Sterling, Scryfall has omniscience for foundations. I might not have got all the reprints. I might have missed 1 or 2 cards, but I think I got all the new stuff. Jess, yeah, I saw that. Buddy shows kids how chicken nuggets are made, and then he's like, who would eat this? And the kids are like, me. RL, you eat it in one bite? Really? What the hell, man? You deep throating cookies? Calm down. He's like, I need the calories. The tropics are burning me away. I'm going to say the caramel one's better. This is all right. Chim Foundations is probably only going to have a couple of cards that are actually impactful for like higher level standard decks. That's my guess. They're going to want to have a like an on-ramp where you can have enjoyable cards with a certain power level, but they're not going to want to outshine everything else that comes along in the next X years, right? So by necessity, it's going to be somewhat lower powered with probably a couple of juicy boys in there. A couple of them juicers. All right. I want to see what some sent me. I want to see what's in this package. Jess, I don't drink coffee, so sending me the ones that have been through animals' intestines wouldn't do anything. I don't drink coffee. Coffee's not for me. I drink tea. What is going on? I've become horrifically weak. I can't even tear into the bag. All right, what do we got? Oh! Check it out. It's the movie Predestination. Prestidigitation. Bum, 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 bum. Get ready to get Ethan hawked. Get ready to get snooked. And you can't say Noah to that. Based on the short story All You Zombies by Robert A. Heinlein, Predestination chronicles the life of a temporal agent, Ethan Hawke, sent on an intricate series of time travel journeys designed to ensure the continuation of his law enforcement career. Now, wow, man, just to keep your job, you got to do all this craziness in the future. Now, on his final assignment, the agent must recruit his younger self while pursuing the one criminal that has eluded him throughout time. You got to get yourself on board. Well, that can't be too hard, right? Can't be too difficult to get yourself on board. Ball Falcon, chilling the Tim Tams in the fridge. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Well, not for Carly, though, because she can't, like, when we chill stuff in the fridge, it's too cold for her sweet, sensitive little teeth. All right, thanks, buddy. Thanks for prestidigitation. That's what I'm going to call it. I have been on a big old movie kick lately and enjoying myself greatly. And by the way, the Flavor Call popcorn is legit. That's all I'm saying. It's good. We made some last night and ate it all. We didn't make like a crazy amount, but we ate it all. What the hell did we watch? Who the hell did I hit? What did we watch? Oh, yeah. We watched Baron Munchausen's The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. That was fun. That was a fun movie. You know what else? You know what else is a surprisingly fun movie? Speed. I never watched Speed back in the day. Like, when it was in the theater, there was other stuff I wanted to see. I knew, like, a little bit about it from the commercials. I know Keanu Reeves is on a bus and the bus can't slow down. And that's it. But that movie kept amping up the stakes. Like, it kept going on and just making it crazier and crazier. And I thought it was really funny and dumb when you got the one guy who's actually played by Buddy from Dumb and Dumber. What is it, Jeff Bridges or something like that? And he's like, yo, I'm the brains. And you're like the brash guts when it came to his partner, right? So it's like, don't get yourself killed now that I'm not on the beat with you, because Buddy had to heal up and he couldn't be out on the street. And so he's worried about Keanu Reeves making stupid moves. But then they're dealing with somebody he knows worked for the police force. He knows this guy is a bomb expert, right? Like, he knows this guy's a bomb expert who's used multiple different kinds of explosives. And for no reason at all, he just runs in the middle of his house. After they figured out who it was, he just runs into the middle of their house and then sees a bomb on the wall and stares at it. Uh-oh. It's like, for real, moron? For real? You're going to the home of a known dude who's blown up multiple buses and like an elevator. Like, you know he's a police officer. You know he's setting these traps up. Why wouldn't you expect there to be any in the house? Like, you were the smart one, but you died in a really dumb way, bro. Like 100%. 100%. That was stupid. Millmaster, I've never seen Father Ted, so I don't know the Father Ted Speed episode. Constantine 2 is going to happen. I never watched the Constantine movie after reading the Constantine comics because I felt like Keanu Reeves wouldn't be able to play Constantine in a believable way, you know? I did like Keanu Reeves quite a bit in John Wick. I found in Speed he made a lot of dumb faces like all the time, and it was like, all right. But it was fun. It was fun seeing Sandra Bullock. She used to be in movies all the time, right? She's a little cutie. I especially like her in Demolition Man. Demolition Man is a fantastic movie. It's right up there as one of my favorite movies. Carly was like, what was it she said? She said that she's always a bitch. Sandra Bullock's always a bitch in movies. And I'm like, she's not in Demolition Man. Maybe that's why I like her in that one. $10 for the novel? What? Some you hadn't read the comics, but you enjoyed Constantine in the theater. Yeah, it's probably easier to enjoy it if you haven't read the comics. I'm just making assumptions here. I could be wrong. I absolutely could be wrong about that. But I just feel like Constantine is a complete bastard, right? Like, he is not a good dude. He may like the whole ends justify the means things. He really takes that to heart, right? So he's that kind of hero where he'll save the world, but in the process, damn innocent people's souls and stuff like that. Keebler, do I think the set will have Urza lands? The Foundation set? Probably not. Probably not. They're not going to put the Urza lands into Standard anytime soon, right? Well, maybe. Maybe. I guess it's not off the table. My gut says no, but it could happen. It could theoretically happen. Wish my yo-yo hadn't come apart today. That was so disappointing. Master Father Ted is free to stream almost everywhere. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I will keep that in mind, buddy. Get this string back on here. See, I got to glue this back together, but make sure that the glue does not get on the string, or else then the string is hosed. And if it's glued on, it might literally be glued to the middle spindle. But I also only have one more yo-yo string, and I don't want to give this string up yet because it's not frayed. It's still got life left in it. Everyday, what's going on in the alternate art chainsaw? They just got some random wielder. Maybe it's a tribute to some random horror property. I don't recognize it, but then I am in no way close to an expert on horror stuff, bro. At all. At all. So there's going to be a bunch of like references in this that I'm sure I'll miss because I definitely haven't kept up with all the horror movies. A lot of the time, horror movies underwhelm and bore me, so I tend to stay away from them. I was electrified by It Follows for a while, but then it ultimately fell apart. Why not take the string off while I glue it? Mainly just laziness. Because I'd have to unwind the end a whole bunch so that I can put it over. Like loading a string onto a yo-yo is pretty obnoxious. So if I can avoid doing that, I will. I think what I'm going to do is probably just put glue in the peg hole and then like I'll just put some glue in here and not enough that it squishes out, and then I'll make sure that the string is fully on the opposite side, and I'll try my luck. I'll try my luck. Jess, babysitting your friends. Cat, well, that's nice of you. It's nice that you offered to do it for free and they hooked you up. That's friendship. That is friendship right there, big boy. That's right. That's what I said, Some. I said I was being lazy. 100%. 100% being lazy in this case. That's how it goes. So yeah, I gotta say, overall, looks like things are shaping up pretty decent with the next upcoming Magic sets. Looking forward to that. I'm curious to see what the distribution is like for these, the card quality, all of it. I heard somebody at the game store today actually going, is there something on these cards? And it's just like, yeah, some of these have production issues. You can literally just feel it when they're sitting in card boxes at the store. Who knows how many people have already touched them and they still have that feel. It's no good. Man, they make DVD cases really cheap these days, eh? They put like the least, like, this feels really, really thin. I remember when like discs came in hard cases, bro. Not that that matters. I'm not living some crazy rugged life where this is going to get all bashed up. I'm going to take it off-roading or anything, but it is noticeable just squeezing it. Jess, you tried to figure out how far I am in the future and you think it's like 5 seconds? It's based on the stream latency or something. There's different settings. There's different settings you can use for it, and they impact the stream quality and how fast you can see and respond to comments and stuff. So it's variable. It is variable. My Kool-Aid has gotten so watered down that it's pretty disappointing now. Whatever. If everything goes well, I'm going to be seeing an old friend tomorrow. The guy who actually introduced me to Magic the Gathering. If everything goes the way it's supposed to, he's going to be in town and we're going to get together. So that'll be all right. That'll be all right. I have a copy of a board game. I tracked down a copy of a while back. I didn't get it specifically for this purpose, but I realized that I had it because I was nostalgic for this game that we played when we were kids, right? And I picked it up at a game auction, and I realized he's got like a family of his own now, full on, wife, kid, all that. So I'm gonna hook him up with this copy of the game that we used to play a million years ago, and I hope he gets some fun out of it because I picked it up in the game auction and was all nostalgic about it, but I never actually played it, and I don't know if I ever actually will, right? This is just me and Carly here, so some games are better with like 3 players or more. Macias, is it you, or does the chainsaw have the teeth on the chainsaw backwards? I don't know. I never paid attention to it. Juglum, I'm glad you enjoyed it. What up, Mrs. Hayes? How you doing? Popping those and brains, yo. What game is it called? Family? What is it? Hold on. I got it like right over here. Or I thought it did. Family Business. Hold on, I'm going to grab it. May as well, because I'm going to want it out tomorrow anyways. Family Business. The game of mob vengeance. You can technically play it 2 players, but it's definitely better. This game is better with more players. So what does it say on the back? Here's your chance to experience the excitement of gangster mayhem. Be the boss in this fast-paced card game as one by one your mobsters are put on the hit list. Do you have the family influence to get them off? Maybe a federal crackdown will end the mob war and give your boys a break. Or take it on the lam and plan your vendetta. Family Business gives you hours of action-packed fun and competition. When these families get down to business, the goal is to survive. So basically, yours and your opponent's dudes get put on the hit list, and then you can wipe them out. But you can use cards like On the Lam, and it's like, ha-ha, you can't get him. And then there's like the St. Valentine's Day Massacre, which is like a Wrath of God, and it just wipes everybody out. Kablamo! But yeah, they redid the game, so you can order like new copies of it or whatever, but not with this box art, not the same as the one we played when we were kids. So, you know, there's the hit list. That's where everybody who's gonna get hit is. Oh, it's got the rule book and everything too. Nice. It's been forever since I opened this. Wow, the rule book's in really good shape too. Yeah, apparently, I don't know if it's still the case, but I heard that these go for a decent amount on eBay now. But I'm just like, I don't care about that. I just thought it'd be cool to give them that as a fun nod to our memories, you know? So that's cool. Pop it back over there. What? Jess, you put a pretend drill on the board, and before the game it randomly makes the hole shallow to deep. And then the deeper, the more money. Oh, the deeper you go, the more money you get. But the oilier you get. Are you ready to be oiled up? Every day is the stream jorking out for anybody else? I don't know. From my end, it looks like the connection has been clear the whole time. Chainsaw. It looks like the blades are curved inwards and heading up like this. Is that how it's supposed to go? I don't know. I don't know enough about chainsaws, honestly. The chainsaws I saw don't look like they have curved blades like that. They just look like, it literally just looks like a chain, and I don't even know how the hell it cuts. Is the chain sharpened? The nostalgia of original art is strong. Chim, you are correct. You are correct. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen like... I'm more interested in cooperative games that I can play and enjoy with Carly, because I don't like to play like competitive stuff with her. I like us to work as a team. It's more fun. And also, I have like way more experience playing tons of different games. So a lot of the games end up really one-sided. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, oh no, I've played games like this and I know how to strategize and use the resources, and I'm not actively trying to like beat you down as hard as possible, but I end up winning pretty frequently. So I'd rather us have a good time. I'm not looking to steamroller her, you know? I like to keep it more friendly so that we both enjoy ourselves. So I was looking more at the cooperative games that they have down at the game store. And I think at some point I want to start picking some up and like doing some reviews on it or whatever. I think it would be cool to do that kind of stuff. Me and Carly were trying to do it in the past, but it was this whole big thing where she wanted to record all this game footage and all these other things, and it just turned into too big a project, and it kind of fell by the wayside. So, you know, basically, she's not worrying about any part of production anymore. I'm doing it all, which means I don't have to worry about like the workload, the speed, or any of it, and her feeling overwhelmed by any of it. So I'm thinking about bringing back the whole, like, I'll just play the games with her, and I'm not going to worry about recording a bunch of stuff and all that. And it's just more, you know, I played the game, here's what it's like kind of vibe. 10-4, play Horrified. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Doomblade, what's up, buddy? You just got a remaster of Luigi's Mansion 2. The graphics for it are pretty good, and the story is just as good as you remember. Can't believe the game is 10 years old now. It's nice to go back to games that you remember enjoying and them still living up to your enjoyment, bro. That's way better than going back and being like, yo, this sucks. Like, how did I ever like this? There have been things like that for me where I was like, why did I like this? But I don't know. Some of that is you change as you age. Some of that is you experience other things that turn out to be better, right? Scotland Yard, never heard of it. Never heard of it. I realize there's like a billion board games that I've never heard of. The game store is so full of them, like 100%. I think the next time somebody sends some money to the game store, like for me to use a store credit, instead of wholly using it on Magic, I might grab a board game too, you know? Either one that's a single player game or is a single or two player cooperative or whatever, stuff like that. Stuff that I can play or me and Carly can play and then I can review and talk to you guys about. Because I want more things that I'm excited and enjoying to talk about. Today definitely helped me feel that more because it was way more fun. Like today's video talking about all the Magic cards was way more fun than a lot of stuff I've done recently. Chim, Kickstarter broke board game output? You're not kidding. There's like a million more now. Like there's so many board games that come out at a staggering pace. 100%. 100%. Hayes, the chain is sharp. Okay. Well, there you go. That makes sense because it literally just looked like a bicycle chain to me. That the brrr. So having the hooked kind of like shark teeth is not something I was familiar with, but it definitely makes it look more vicious. There's no disputing that. There's no disputing that. Well, I hear the sound of Carly operating the popcorn maker. That's sweet. I was like, yo, I want to have popcorn again tonight. Do you mind making it? I've made it the last couple times, so I asked if she minded making it while the stream was going on, and she's like, yeah, I'll do that. Every day, Blood Bowl Season 2 is expensive, but you enjoy putting together the models and painting them. Well, that's value right there, bro. It's like, how many things are there in life that genuinely bring you joy? And how long do you get to experience them? It's better to just lean in and enjoy it. If things are expensive, I mean, what's money for? Money is for spending on, like, obviously survival level stuff. But beyond that, it's meant to be spent on things that make your life better. And things that you genuinely enjoy make your life better. Assembling Warhammer models, assembling like models for games and stuff, Blood Bowl, all that, that's enjoyable. I love games with little miniatures and stuff. And sometimes when I'm really into it, I even like paint them. I was painting my little talisman figurines, right? So that's got a good vibe. Although I feel like it's been a while since I painted, and I might actually need glasses now to paint because the details will be blurrier otherwise. When stuff gets too close to my eyes, I can't see the finest details anymore. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes when you get to be a middle-aged goober, right? I got a bunch of dried up old paints from the Warhammer days. They're just dried up paints. I don't know if they can be used at all, but I'll tell you this right now. If they're completely unusable, I'm never buying Games Workshop's paints again. They're too small and too expensive, right? I'll go to the dollar store and I'll get a big tall thing of acrylic paint for like $1.50. That's how I'll do it. That's how I'll do it. Ilvader, you've been playing the villainous board games a lot. Play as Disney villains trying to complete your objective to win. All right. I've seen those boxes on the shelf, and those games are pretty much what was able to get Ravensburger the license to make Lorcana, right? So I have heard good things, and the boxes are quite nice to look at. That's one of the things that draws me to a board game initially, is the name and the way the box looks if I don't know anything about it. And then you flip it over And sometimes you'll be like, oh, no, this looks awful. I don't want to try this at all. And other times you flip it over, you're like, yo, this is cool. Look at the cool stuff in here. And when you're used to Magic the Gathering, like this box of Assassin's Creed, if you want to buy a box of Assassin's Creed here in Canada, this is $180. A regular Play Booster box of any other set is $210, so it does cost more. But this is, what, how many packs are in here? There are only 7 card packs. What does it even say? Does it say how many are in here somewhere? 24 7 card packs instead of 36 14 card packs. The packs are half the size, and there's a third less of them, right? So this is $180. With $180, I could get 3 or 4 banger board games. You know? Jugglim, there's a Bloomburrow trailer? I did not see it. I didn't even know. A new paint came out today called Purple Rain. Oh, maybe it's just like my father. Too bold. All right, I'm going to write down about the Bloomburrow trailer so I don't forget. Tomorrow, are you the only person super annoyed that Leonardo da Vinci in both versions is right-handed? I thought that Leonardo da Vinci was left-handed, but basically became ambidextrous because he grew up in the times where if you did things with your left hand, they considered that evil. Left, the word for sinister is left. They literally considered it to be evil to use your left hand, like against the church. So he would write and use his right hand. That's my understanding of it. So I have heard other people being annoyed like you are, but in this case, I don't think that that it's wrong. You know? Every day, what's the card quality of Lorcana cards? Their quality is good. It's not poor like Magic. Magic is some of the poorest card quality currently in the card game world. James, what kind of board games am I into? That's a good question. I definitely like games with little miniatures. I like when you get a bunch of little like power-ups and stuff like that. I don't like games that take a million years to play. Although that might be different with cooperative games. Because when it comes to versus games and stuff like that, I don't like games that take like 3 years. Tomorrow, I don't know. I ain't claiming to be an expert on the subject. And I don't care that people get mad and go, yo, he was left-handed, show him left-handed. That feels like a valid complaint as well. So it can be either or. I'm good with either. I hear the sounds of them popcorns. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Doomblade Super Chat said, did you see the presidential debate? No, I don't live in America. I don't pay attention to American politics, bro. It was stupid. At one point, they argued who would golf better than the other. All right, Joe was basically there, barely there cognitively. Bro, I find political stuff to be really boring, and it gets more boring when it's for other countries. I think the only interesting political thing I've ever seen was in Japan, where the last samurai ran the prime minister through with a samurai sword. That's some insane politics. But like, just watching people who have no interest in telling anybody the truth and are just, it's all boring. It's all so boring, you know? Like, that's really what it boils down to. If it was interesting, then I would watch. But I'm not a person, I don't find politics to be interesting. I'd rather watch golf, and golf is terminally boring, you know? So for me, that's a no, bro. That's a no. Chim Dungeon Pets is Fiddly Bits fun. Nice. James, with my obvious TCG love, you feel like I'd like deck builder games like Clank, Dominion? Yup. Yep. That's absolutely a possibility. I like unique concepts as well, you know? Yeah, I'd do pretty much anything before I'd watch like political debates. I would just walk away from the computer or the TV and read a book even, you know? I love that like people have taken it upon themselves to build little libraries outside their homes. You know, like take a book, leave a book kind of thing. I think that's cool. It's not something I would have expected to see in this digital age, right? But it's dope. Doomblade, you forgot I was Canadian? Fair enough. Fair enough. You know? I know that American politics are more of a spectacle than Canadian politics, but for me, it's all still very dull and doesn't affect my life, so. Tomorrow, you're an expert. You were an art history professor for 24 years. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I claim no expert level at all when it comes to Leonardo da Vinci. I just think it's weird to have real world people in magic like that. It feels weird. Feels weird, right? But whatever. They want to do it in the Assassin's Creed set. Universes beyond. Universes beyond magic. Earth. Oh, okay. This one's Earth, and you got Duskmourn being a parallel Earth. All of it. All of it. Got something stuck in my teeth, man. Oh, well, the popcorn kernels will get it out. Oh, lordy. Man, I laughed at myself when I was out and realized, yo, I'm too baked. And I'm just not talking to anybody. I'm looking at board games. I was really getting into it, honestly. I was like, some of these board games look so cool. And some, like, they're reasonable. Their prices are reasonable. Like, a collector booster for Modern Horizons 3 here is like 40, 45 bucks. You can get a good board game for that price. You know? Like an entire board game. James, you think our Southern Ontarian accent could pass as like a New York accent? I don't think you're wrong, bro. New York isn't that far from here. New York isn't that far from here. Some Legends had Einstein. No. Legends had a card called Presence of the Master. Right? Don't fucking try and get it twisted. That's not the case. Einstein doesn't exist as a creature in Magic the Gathering, as a real world human. They just painted him on a fucking magic card that's an enchantment. And as far as I know, Einstein wasn't like some ephemeral aura of magic, right? So no. Nice try. Nice try, some. But your sentence is the sum of your sentence is incorrect. Have we seen any other planeswalkers in Bloomburrow other than the Jace? There's an Otter Ralzeric, and Ralzeric's apparently actually in the world. The Jace isn't in the world, it's just in the set. Like, it's just in the set as a bonus card, not as an actual card. Macias, what do you mean be honest and say that Duskmourn is clearly Stranger Things, but they couldn't get the license for it? First of all, a bunch of people are saying that. Who's fucking lying and saying that it doesn't have that kind of shit going on? But let's be very clear. It's taking a whole bunch of things. It's not just Stranger Things is all about 80s. Well, a bunch of the shit they're doing is all about 80s, which is why you're just going to think it's Stranger Things when it's not just that. You're like, can we be honest? This is all Stranger Things. No, son. This is like a soup of like 30 different things stirred together, right? You got this card is The Ring, right? The card with all the monitors that doubles your instants and sorceries. That's The Ring, bro. That's The Ring. So like Wizards isn't just lazily using Stranger Things. They're lazily using everything. It's like everything just glorps together into a big fleshy Akira monster that wants to climb up inside you, you know? I have to admit, after seeing Collected Company and the squad they're sending in to Duskmourn, I am wondering how good the story will be. I hope it lives up to the world building in the Planeswalker's Guide. Chim, Duskmourn isn't what you wanted, but you're fully on board. You know what, bro? I gotta be real. I thought that Bloomburrow was going to be the only thing I was hyped for this year, and that Duskmourn would leave me feeling underwhelmed and uninterested. But it's got very interesting artwork on a lot of the cards. It's got like a cohesive world building. So it pulled me in way more. Like, bro, this is a cool concept. This twitching doll that's made up out of spiders. That's wild. That's wild. James, do I ever travel outside of the Niagara region? Yep. There's a massive board game nerd store about an hour from you that's great. Often beats 401 game prices. All right. Yeah, man, I go up to Toronto and like other locations, but most of the time I am in the Niagara region. Jim, K is not even in the world, bro. K is not anywhere in Duskmourn. Tamora! Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed the Fantasy Geographic Duskmourn video. I was surprised. I thought that I wasn't going to have any new lore to talk about until Bloomburrow lore started dropping, which I expected would be 3 or 4 weeks from now. So to be reading I was like, they put out the Planeswalker's Guide to Duskmourn already? Is this even real? And I clicked and opened it. I'm like, it's real. And I started to read it. And I was like, there's enough here for multiple videos. Like a video breaking down all the different denizens that are there, including one of the original residents of the house still lives there. And there is a bubble of reality that flows along with her that makes everything look normal to her. So she's not witnessing the horrors of what's going on in Duskmourn. She's not having the horrors inflicted on her. So I don't know if that means, it probably does, that she's connected to the demon in some way where if she ever leaves the house or her life ends, then maybe the demon's power will wane and he won't be able to like control everything the way he was. Something like that. Maybe it's the key to his defeat. Doomblade, yeah, bro. Akira, like especially when he turns in the bear leaking milk, I found to be really messed up. Like the Akira blob where he's crushing the chick, that's pretty messed up. You see that when you're 12, yeah, I can see why that would mess you up, bro. I remember Akira and Ghost in the Shell when she tears her arms off. It's like, whoa! The invisibility cloak at the beginning, that was a cool movie. Ilvatar, you watched the lore video for Duskmourn that I made, and a comment mentioned there was a TV series book that's more or less the same story. Kind of interested in picking up the book and checking it out. The book has a longer title, but the TV miniseries is called Rose Red. Yeah, I've never heard of that. James, all right, buddy, if I'm ever in Waterloo, I'll check them out, bro. Jess, ultrasonic frequencies will cure cancer in the future. Ultrasounds of babies will cure cancer in the future. They'll just rub it on your liver and go, your tumors are cured. Mark my words. Mark my words. Chim, you've been watching old 80s anime movies? Yeah, they do get wild. Saw some craziness. They don't seem to make things on that level anymore. The stuff they make nowadays not as nutty. A lot of it, at least the mainstream stuff. There's a lot of dullness. Not as much good times. But that seems to be making the older stuff hit harder. I feel like if I had watched Speed 10 years ago, I would have been like, it's an okay movie. But like, I actually really liked it. I found the movie quite engaging, and they kept amping up the stakes. Like, they just kept going with it. Dennis Hopper's character should not have had particular moments where he gave like speeches and stuff like that, because the writing in some ways was idiotic, and it took him from like a cool villain to, it's like, are you having a stroke, old man? You know? It was like, what the hell is this? What up, Kurt? Sorry you're late. It's all good, buddy. If you want to see the stream in its entirety, you can check it out on the archive afterwards, because it'll be uploaded there. Tamora, yeah, the Thran lore is a cool storyline. 100%. 100%. Jess, nope, I've never heard of a place called Coral Castle. The only thing that I really know of in Florida is Disneyland. My parents took me there when I was a kid. James, they got thousands of board games? Wow, that's wild. That's wild. Speed sounds like you couldn't drag the premise out for over an hour, but they do ramp it nicely. It's a 2-hour movie. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, 2 hours for beep beep, the bus has got to drive? You know what else I appreciated about that movie? Is they didn't just hand wave shit away. I thought for sure what the movie was going to do was going to ignore the fact that there would be heavy traffic. What the hell are you going to do? And then they showed, oh no, traffic is very real. Watch this. And she has to like drive the bus on the outer curve of the road, smashing into all these signs. And then the police get involved and move everybody out of the way, create like a little escort and all that. And it's like, yo, this actually feels legit. It doesn't feel insulting as an audience member where you're just like, where's all the traffic? There would be, are you kidding me? They would run into gridlock, bro. I'm not an idiot. I may live in a city that's not that big now, but I lived in Toronto for years, and I know what a big city's traffic is like. Driving in big cities, like big cities, is insane. It's insane, right? So trying to pretend like that doesn't exist, that's a no-go. But they didn't. I thought they were going to. I fully expected it. I thought it was funny that like Dennis Hopper, it took him 2 years to set up the elevator explosion setup. He's like, it took me 2 years of planning. But then in like one day, he rigs up two buses to blow up like it's nothing. It's like, why did it take you 2 years? You did 2 buses in 20 minutes, son. Jess, a dude made a castle out of fossilized coral. Oh, that's funky. If I was in the area, I would check stuff like that out. Like, I'm a total tourist. I went to Prince Edward Island, and they have like a house just made completely out of bottles. This guy just made the bottle house. We went in there. We paid to get in and see the bottle house. It really wasn't that great, honestly, but it was something to see. It was something to see. And this was before the days of the internet where there were a million, you could just go online and watch like a quick video of it and go, yeah, I don't need to be there. You know what I mean? Man, yeah, that was so long ago. That's crazy. That's crazy. The sands of time are fucking flowing by, guys. What am I gonna do? Can I see early winter being used for anything? Purely limited. Purely sealed. Sealed and draft, bro. That's it. Or maybe if they do events like on Arena where you only use cards from Bloomburrow, I could see that too. I could see that too. But like, no, are you kidding me? 5 mana to get rid of a creature? Or the fact that you can make them sack an enchantment of their choice? It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Nah. But it's flavorful as hell. The artwork is awesome. I love it. Ooh, man, who's ready for a nap? Jess, all you can do is live your best life and die old. It's a great plan. That's what I'm going for. I'm trying to enjoy myself as much as possible. And today has been a great step in that direction, honestly. Tamora, speaking of tourist stuff, thanks for saving us the grief at medieval times as it is now. So disappointing. No problem. I'm glad other people can gain from the knowledge of my dreadful experience. I went from somebody who was ultra super pro, let's go medieval times, to no, I won't go back unless they change things, and then I see somebody else going, they fixed medieval times, because it costs so much money. That was my birthday money plus. It was everything. And then Carly bought the tickets for it. So it cost us both. It cost us both a bunch of money. Me for the hotel, her for the tickets, and me for the food and everything else that we had to have while we were up there. So medieval times sucked. But we did find an arcade called Octo, and there is footage of that. I think that's actually something that Carly was going to work on. I might take over so she doesn't have to bother with it. But I've got footage of the Octo claw machine arcade and the story of bitter disappointment, me trying to get Optimus Prime and things going horribly wrong. But that was fun. Gianna, chainsaw, you're at a loss for words? The chainsaw didn't bother me. But then I guess I already knew coming into this that they're doing parallel 1980s level technology and magic. And stuff like Kamigawa and all that stuff is apparently inured me to a bunch of this stuff. But I'll say as well, it's the concept of Duskmourn and what they're doing and the world building. It made me give them more leeway. I was like, all right, when I think of you're trying to do 80s horror movies, I totally think of Evil Dead and the chainsaw and whatever. So you're not the first person that I've heard complain about it, and it's a valid complaint, but I don't share it. I don't care. I'm cool with there being a chainsaw in here. Whatevs. We already got tanks and submarines. They've already busted down the wall of craziness. So I'll completely agree that it doesn't feel like swords and sorcery magic. Duskmourn isn't going to be that. I'm going to get that from Bloomburrow, and I'm going to vibe on Duskmourn for what it is. Hopefully they have Boomstick. I feel like it's doubtful. We just had the Western set, and they in no way were willing to put actual goons into it. So expecting a shot goon is expecting something you're probably not going to get. They might make a lightning blaster version of it or whatever, but will it really feel the same? I don't know. I think that even though we have televisions and Walkmans and everything else, that they're going to stick to the no gun thing, because they say the game's for 13 plus, but they also want it to be 7-year-olds can play it and stuff. And there's just something about guns specifically that isn't acceptable, and I can't pretend to understand it, because you can literally use swords to hack people in half. There's a little artwork of people getting cut the fuck in half, and chainsaws can cut. That chainsaw's covered in blood. You can depict all that, have horrific spells where this poor little mouse dies out in the snow, but no guns. Maybe it has to do with some laws that I don't know about, but I know YouTube gets really picky about that shit too. So it's just a thing. So don't hold your hopes up too high, but there's no harm in having hope. You never know. Maybe you hope for a Tyvar with a flashlight and a fanny pack. Put your flashlight in my fanny, Tyvar. Give me a prostate exam, Tyvar. Spread my cheeks with your strong masculine arms, Tyvar. You've planeswalked into my heart. Yeah, decapitation, okay. 6-shooter, no go. Exactly. Break stop, yep, that might have something to do with it. It's 100% possible. I would not dispute that possibility. People get touchy about different things. Man, she's making a lot of popcorn. I think I've heard her run it 4 times. She's going hardcore. So, show of hands. Who's ready to get their prostate checked by Tyvar? His fanny pack is full of medical bandages in case he tears your butthole. Some, you really like the full art 9 lives familiar, gonna have to get a couple. It's a cool card. I love the Sun Shower Druid. I love this little frog dude. I love him. I love him. He's so much fun. It's so much fun. Just the pose, all of it. His little leaf cape, like, yes, are you kidding me? He makes me want to play a D&D character that is him, right? That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Just a fun little dude. I like it. I would like a little miniature of him. I wish I had a 3D printer, and I wish I knew how to make little 3D miniatures so I could make myself a little 3D frog druid, because he's awesome. Doomblade, yeah, there's cards that have worse names than Blood on the Snow. 100%. Like Massacre, right? Slaughter. There's all kinds of words that are just like awful. What up, Pyre? How you doing? Oh, with the Simpsons quote. Stupid, sexy Tyvar. He's the new Flanders. Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all but my fanny pack. And guess what? It's being held up by his fat Nordic dong. You like elf dick, bro? There's actually a hole cut in the fanny pack a la popcorn that has a hole in it. So when he's like, oh, just reach into my fanny pack for the magic you need, and it's just his fat throbber, you're like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's a healing worm. Oh, I can feel its veins. The veins are full of magic, but he's real shy. So you have to close your eyes and kiss him on the mouth hole. He's got a tiny little mouth hole in the middle of his face. You just gotta French kiss it. I'll show you the true horrors of Duskmourn. Chim, the witch oven turns creatures into food. It sure does. It sure does. Man, did I hate cat oven. Oh, I was reminded of that when I played in the midweek artisan event on Arena, and somebody was playing cat oven, Oni, demon, anvil, and I was just like, I think I can beat you, but I'm not willing to invest the time. Like, that's what I realized. I was like, I'm pretty sure that all this guy's shenanigans, I'm still going to run over him with my big fat green guys. But since none of these dickheads have trample, this is going to be a very slow go of it. And I'm going to have to sit here while he puts a billion triggers on the stack over and over. So I just conceded because I was like, I'm not interested in wasting my life on all the clicks. I used to concede against cat oven decks because I was like, this is the most tedious shit. Like, for real, for real. This is tedious as hell. If I have to sit there and go through like fucking 5 mouse clicks to lose a life, forget it. Get a life. I'm leaving. I am leaving. That's it. I refuse to play against cat oven. I guess I would play against it if I was in some kind of event that had an entry fee that I had paid, or like ranked or something, but like in anything else, it's insta concede, move on to the next game. Oh, you're playing cat oven. Enjoy your win. Goodbye. The same way that I won't play against a white, like if somebody plays a blue land and then you can tell they're taking a bunch of time to think, I just leave. I'm like, bro, if you don't know what you want to do from turn 1 when you only have 1 blue mana, I am not sitting here for half an hour while you fumble through control. This is pathetic. Goodbye. Right? What up, Piers? Better late than never. Is that how you feel about cancer? It's better to have cancer late than never? Bro, do you know how fucking ignorant that is to all the people in the hospital who have cancer? You should be ashamed of yourself. Asking how everyone's Friday is? Don't you know some people have bad Fridays and you've just made them think of it? Man, you're a double dick tonight. Am I interneting right? I feel like that's what people do now, is they just go, what's the most uncharitable interpretation I can make of your comments, right? Like, what is the most unpleasant thing I can turn this into? That's what I'm going to assume it is, and I'm going to get affronted by it. So I feel like I'm doing it right. I feel like I did a good job there. Doomblade, that's how Nadu decks feel? Oh, I would just leave. I would just leave. I'd be like, no, that's cool. Just have the win, bro. Have the win. If it was a competitive thing, I might be the one playing Nadu. I don't care. When it comes to, like, if you're playing in a competitive event, anything goes. Play whatever you want. Play the harshest, most vicious stuff trying to get a win. That's fine. That's fine. But if we're not playing like that, I ain't playing against the nonsense. I ain't doing it. Kenneth, you caught a nasty bug. What'd you catch it with? Did you catch it with your butt? Did you squeeze it with your butt cheeks? I'm feeling a little under the weather myself today, so hopefully you feel better soon, even though you are a terrible hate monger, bro. I feel your hatred through the internet. Anyways, it looks like it's time to wrap this up. So, thanks for coming and hanging out. Doomblade, you're lord of the board. Oh, look at the smile that's there beside it. That looks pretty good. Anyways, thanks for coming by, everybody. If you haven't gone and watched the lore video or my spoiler video I put out today, talks about a bunch of different stuff, go watch those, and I'll catch up with you guys again soon. Probably tomorrow. Peace out for now. I'm going into the water.